Hello everybody, how are you? This is Diego Barco, your local realtor with Keller Williams in the city of Downey. And I'm in an open house right now, and I just had a buyer come in, and they were thinking about buying, but they really haven't had a buyer's consultation with the realtor. So I explained to him the buying process. I gave him a consultation. But, one of the things that was striking to me was that most people don't know all the parties involved in a real estate transaction. So I briefly want to talk about all the parties that are involved in a real estate transaction. That way you guys get familiarized not just with the process of buying real estate, but also with the parties that are going to be involved in a real estate transaction. So the party number one is the seller, right? Because they have the product. So the seller contracts a broker to sell their property. And that broker has a contract with the seller to list and market the property, and they're entitled to a commission. Number one is the seller. Number two is the broker for the seller. Number three is the buyer. Okay, so obviously to be able to sell a property, there has to be a buyer. Now, the buyer usually has representation from a agent and has a contract with the agent to be able to help them with the buying process. Okay, now once you have the party of the seller and the buyer involved, now we can bring in a little bit more parties into the mix, because now that the seller has agreed to sell the property to the buyer, they go into contract with the residential purchase agreement here in the state of California. And at that point, now we start getting other agencies involved or other parties involved in the transaction, right? So as soon as you write a contract, you're going to open up escrow. Escrow is the third party that makes sure that everybody gets what they want out of the contract, and everybody gets what they're entitled based on the contract that the buyer and the seller agree. Okay? Now, escrow will take the money, for the deposit. Escrow has several functions, and we can talk a little bit more about it. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Now, as an agent, I have an assistant. So a lot of the times, if you are with an agent that has an assistant, they're going to be involved in some of the transaction. After we do have title. So title is very important. Title essentially ensures you that the property is being sold to you without any without any issues, and can transfer the title to your name. Okay, so the title is going to insure you, and it's very helpful for you to have, obviously. Now, once we have escrow, title, we also have the appraisal. So the appraisal, if you're going to be buying a property, you want to make sure that the property is valued at the amount that you're going to pay for. So that's what the appraiser comes and does. He takes a look at the surrounding area, the sales, compares it, and then it gives you your appraised value. Okay? Now, inspectors are also very important. So when you buy your home, there's going to be some inspectors. Now, it could be a home inspection, or it can be a termite inspection, amongst others. Okay. Now, we also have the lender. The lender is the one that's going to give you the money to purchase a property. That's another party involved. Very important to have the money, right? And last but not least, once everything is done and you've been able to navigate through the end of the contract, you're going to record with the county, and now the title of the property is going to be under your name. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. This is a little bit of a long video because there is a lot of parties involved. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. My name is Diego Barco with Keller Williams in Downey. My number is 562-450-0551. Pleasure speaking with you, and talk to you soon.